Good evening, everybody. Forecaster Zach Briscoe here with the Hazardous Weather Prediction Center. We're going to be going over the current storm going on now and also the storm going to be happening on Sunday into Monday. Start off with the current radar and observations. You can see here we got some pretty good snowfall going on here in a relatively small corridor behind this cold front. I mean, it is covering from Missouri up into Pennsylvania right now, but width-wise, it's pretty small on this side, and you got the rain on this side, and your front in here, and in between you got some decent icing going on. As you can see here, up to a quarter inch of ice, and even up to an inch of ice has fallen down in places in Texas. You got some heavy snowfall back here. We got amounts in the 9-10 inch area going on there. And as we head into the evening, the snowfall will spread into parts of the rest of Ohio, into Pennsylvania, up into New York, and then into the Northeast. Basically, we're thinking the snow line is going to be somewhere, right wiggling through here. North of here, you're going to start to see some accumulating snow. In here, you might get some flakes mixed in. It's still very hard to tell, but you might, get a trace to a coating the whole way down to the Maryland border here, but not 100% sure on that part just yet. As you can see, it's starting to change over here. State College will be changing over soon to some ice and snow. Johnstown here and down into parts of West Virginia and the rest of Ohio, you will be all turning over to ice and snow here within the next 1 to 2 hours from that line there. Let's take a look at the rest of the evening, what the models are showing for this. If we take a step here, we can go show you what we're thinking this is going to happen here. So let's get a closer in view here. You can see that most of the snow kind of starts moving up into Pennsylvania, and you get that changeover. And you got some heavy snow occurring here in parts of central Pennsylvania, down into Ohio and West Virginia, up into parts of New York, maybe even over to Massachusetts there going on. You might have a little bit of snow falling there. And then as we move a little bit later in time, you can see that snowfall then moves up even more into the northeast. And this is where you might see a little bit of snowflakes or maybe a trace coating over here along the Maryland border as that cold front continues to push eastward. Now let's move on to the next system that's going to impact on Sunday into Monday. And you see here, this is the latest run of the NAM. It's showing a heavy band of snow across parts of Maryland, West Virginia, eastern West Virginia, northern Virginia there into southern Pennsylvania. And so it's looking like it will start off with some snow and sleet, and then as you go on in time, this event starts to turn into more of an ice event here. You can see the precip slows down, and that's when you start getting some freezing and drizzle, and then the second band there comes in, and this is where you start getting some significant icing in that area. So for our forecast, we have issued, you can find it on our website here, at hwpcwx.org or on our Facebook page. We have our snowfall forecast, and this is going to have to be edited a little bit, but a general 1 to 3 for our first call, because we're still not sure on where the exact heavy pockets of snow are going to set up. But we might get some 3 to 6 inch amounts in here, and we might have to extend this 1 to 3 a little bit further south. But right now, that's what we have for that. The more concern, though, is going to be for that icing event. And right now, we have pegged a heavy icing of maybe ½ an inch or more freezing rain here in this corridor, followed by a quarter to a ½ inch down to the 95 quarter here along Baltimore to D.C., closer to Richmond. And then around that, you got some lighter ice, a 1/10 to a quarter of an inch. But there could potentially be a damaging ice storm here in parts of northern Virginia, southern Pennsylvania, and western Maryland. We're going to have to keep an eye on that depending on how much precipitation moves in. So we will have you more updates. A final call will be coming out later tomorrow, probably sometime after 3 o'clock. We'll have our final call out, and then we'll just keep you up to date with radar images and everything throughout the storm. So stay tuned to Hazardous Weather Prediction Center. I'm forecaster Zach Briscoe.